But this is Kevin here at Haralson County with Coach Shane Lasseter. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing well,
Yeah, it feels great. Feels like football in here,
It
doesn't
does.
it?
It feels amazing.
First of all, I just wanted to ask you about our player of the week, Antonio Heath. I know he's been such a big part of this program for so many years.
Yeah.
Great student athlete, and he had a huge game against Haralson County.
Yeah.
Just tell me about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of the lifeblood of our
Yeah.
program. He's
Yeah.
one of those backbone kids that, that the program's kind of been built on of just, he just does everything the right way. All the, ever since he's been a little bitty boy, and his family's a big part of what we do, and his brother's starting to contribute a good bit now too. But he had a monster game, and he's just a selfless football player, which is what we love at Haralson County.
Right.
And we're super proud of Antonio.
Yeah. The cool thing is, you mentioned obviously he's a senior. He grew up with a lot of these players, including your son, Max. I'm sure they've known each other since they were playing Pee Wee football.
Yeah.
How important is that to have guys who've grown up together, love one another, play for each other?
I mean, it means everything. It's a whole lot harder to give up whenever you're, that somebody that you care about, depending on you, and and just from my standpoint alone, like seeing those guys, grow up. I can honestly say that I've seen every football game that Antonio Heath has ever played, because he's played every game with my son.
That's awesome.
So and just be able to see those kids grow up from the time they're 5 years old all the way until now. It's super impressive to see what they've turned into, and it's fun to watch. They're an easy bunch to coach.
Yeah, that's awesome. Obviously, the offense for Haralson County gets so much attention, rightfully so.
Yeah.
But I tell you, look what the defense has done this season. I know Bowden scored a few points, but outside of that, I don't think y'all given up more than 10 points in a game. And just complete dominance last week against Haralson County. And again, it helps to have impact players like your son Max, but it really is every single player on that defense doing their job, isn't it?
It is. I mean, we have the offense does get a lot of credit because they should, and there's a lot of juniors on that team, but what kind of gets overshadowed is there's a lot of seniors on the defense, and and experience is something that you just cannot, is there's no substitute for it. And whenever you have somebody like, Andrew Tinker, who's played a lot of football at the safety position, and Jackson White has played a lot of football up front, and then, we have, a really good, deep crew of kids that have played just a lot of football, and they have a really good understanding about what we're doing. And then our defensive staff has done a really good job. I mean, you're talking about, you got Coach Nate, he's an unbelievable guy, and then you got, Shelnut and Dylan Yates, and then we've added Coach Winningham, and then of course, you have the two legend guys with Coach Barrett and DJ Kerbo over there. It's that they're coached up, and so to have those the defensive guys buying into what's going on, and then whenever you see that they have a real good understanding about what's going on defensively, that makes for to be able to do a lot of things, which always kind of keeps you ahead of the game, and we're not playing catch up. We're trying to be one step ahead.
Absolutely. I've covered a few games up there at Haralson County. That's never an easy place.
Right.
To go win. So I'm sure to come away with any kind of win would have been great, and to kind of dominate the game like y'all did, I'm sure you have to be thrilled with the effort.
Yeah, I mean, we were super pleased with it, because that's just a scary offense to prepare for. You can't simulate it at practice, and so you don't understand the speed and how physical it is until you get into that. And our kids did an awesome job of reading their keys and flying around, and I was extremely tickled to see how we were playing.
No doubt. And again, this week, Temple's another team. Doesn't matter what their record are. It's a rivalry game, and you're always going to get their best. I'm sure you're expecting that again this week.
Absolutely. We've talked about that. Their back's against the wall a little bit, so that they've had their best week of practice. Evan Hostetler's over there, and he's a tremendous play caller, and so he's going to find something in our D to expose. And then, and Coach Nixon and them guys do a good job, and they're going to be ready to play. And it's always a tough environment to go play at Temple. And we've played a lot of really close football games up at Temple in our 20 years, and so we're expecting it to be a battle for sure.
No doubt. Talking to Antonio, this team has a chance to do some really special things. What he mentioned is that nobody's looking down the road. It's all about just getting better each practice, each game. And I'm sure that's what you stress with the guys. If you do what you're supposed to do every day, then the long-term goals will come, right?
Absolutely. From a defensive standpoint, something that Coach Barron says a lot is, just see small and you get to play big. And we're trying to use that kind of same philosophy for the whole entire season is see the small picture of what we're working on today. And then if you'll continue to do those things throughout the, course of the season, then you'll have a big season,
Yep. Well, it's nice to get the halfway point of the season without a loss. You can't do much better than that. So.
Yeah, we're in good shape, and we just got to continue to get better. And it's been an enjoyable season so far, and we're looking forward to what this team can become.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Kev.